ഹായ് മൈ ഡിയർ സ്റ്റുഡൻസ്, എല്ലാവർക്കും എയ്സൽമീഡിയയുടെ പുതിയൊരു എപ്പിസോഡിലേക്ക് സ്വാഗതം. ഇന്നത്തെ എപ്പിസോഡിൽ 9ാം ക്ലാസ്സിലെ സോഷ്യൽ സയൻസ് 1 രണ്ടാമത്തെ ചാപ്റ്ററായ ദ ഈസ്റ്റ് ആൻഡ് ദ വെസ്റ്റ് എന്ന അധ്യായത്തിലെ 1ാം ഭാഗത്തിലെ ചോദ്യോത്തരങ്ങളാണ് ഉൾപ്പെടുത്തിയിരിക്കുന്നത്. നമുക്ക് ചോദ്യോത്തരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് കടക്കാം. Observe the map and find out the two trade routes which connected the east and the west. Silk Road and Spice Road. Next question. Points out the features of Silk Road and Spice Road. Silk Road and Spice Road. Answer. Silk Road and Spice Road were the major trade routes. These routes extended from eastern China to western Europe. Silk Road was a land route while the Spice Route was through the sea. These roads passed through different trade centers. Which are the eastern and western countries that trade with each other? Europe, western countries, Europe, North America and South America. The eastern countries, Arabia, India, China and some other countries of the Asian continent. Next question. Analyze the factors that led to the strengthening of the commercial contacts between the East and the West. The answer: rapid increase in production, diversity of products, construction of roads and bridges, the effective steps to control thieves and robbers. All these factors led to the strengthening of the commercial contacts between the East and the West. Next question. Evaluate the circumstances that led to the growth of trade in Italy during the medieval period. The answer: by the 13th century, the Italian cities of Florence and Venice began to mint coins. The ports of Italian subcontinent, the concessions provided by the Italian cities to their merchants, and the encouragement from the rulers, etc., led to the growth of trade in Italy during the medieval period. Next question. Observe the map of trade routes and list the major commercial centers of Europe of medieval period. Florence, Venice, Pisa, Genova and Milan were the major commercial centers of Europe of medieval period. Which were the cities that minted their own coins in the medieval world? Florence and Venice. List out the cities as eastern and western. Florence, Baghdad, Venice, Muscat, Genova, Mecca, Damascus. Eastern cities: Baghdad, Damascus, Mecca and Muscat. Western cities: Florence, Venice, Genova. Florence, Venice and Genova. Observe the atlas and find out the river banks on which the following cities are located: London, Paris, Rome, Vienna. The answer: London, River Thames; Paris, on the river Seine; Rome, River Tiber; Vienna, River Danube. Next question. What are the characteristic features of medieval cities? This is an important question. The answer is: the medieval European cities were not similar to the modern cities. They were generally small in size. The roads of these cities were narrow and unhygienic. The buildings were built of wood and were thatched with hay. The possibility of an outbreak of fire was very high as the cities were overcrowded. Majority of the city dwellers were merchants, craftsmen and laborers. The laborers of the cities were poor and hence they depended on others for their livelihood. And the cities depend on the villagers for food and fodder. All these were the characteristic features of the medieval cities. Observe the trade routes on the map provided and list out the important trade cities of Central Asia: Damascus, Mecca, Muscat, Baghdad, Athens, Basra, Constantinople and Calicut. Next question. What were the suitable situations that caused development and progress in trade to Italian cities like Florence, Venice, Genoa, and Pisa compared to other European regions? The answer: they began to mint their own coins, the peasants of ports of Italian subcontinent. The concessions provided to them by their merchants, the encouragement from administrators, all these facilitated the development and progress in trade to Italian cities like Florence, Venice, Genoa, and Pisa compared to other European regions. What is meant by guild? The guilds were the associations of experts in different occupational sectors. Once more I say, guilds were the associations of experts in different occupational sectors. What were the factors which led to the formation of the guilds? The rapid increase of trade in the medieval European cities, the formation of specific occupational sectors, the necessity to withstand the excessive taxation and exploitation, the sense of organization. All these were the factors which led to the formation of guilds. This is an important question from this chapter. The guilds were associations of experts in different occupational sectors. There were two kinds of guilds, the merchant guilds and the crafts guilds. Which were the two kinds of guilds? The merchant guilds and the craft guilds. The merchant guilds. The merchant guilds were the first to emerge. Intercity leagues were formed linking the cities for the progress of trade. The Hanseatic League is an example for this, which regulated the trade activities of many cities of Europe. The merchant guild is the guild of merchants. The craft guilds. The craft guilds were the associations of different artisans and craftsmen of the medieval period. Every occupational group, like the leather worker, carpenter, blacksmith, etc., had separate guilds. Then intercity league. What is meant by intercity leagues? Intercity leagues were formed linking the cities for the progress of trade. The Hanseatic League is an example for this, which regulated the trade activities of many cities of Europe. What were the aims of the guilds? To foster mutual help and cooperation, to maintain the monopoly of the markets, and to attain economic stability were the aims of the guilds. List out the important duties of the guilds. This is also an important question. ഈ പാഠത്തിൽ ഇത്രയും ഞാൻ നേരം പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസും ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് തന്നെയാണ്. എങ്കിലും ഇടയ്ക്ക് വളരെ പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഞാൻ ഒന്നുകൊണ്ട് പറയുകയാണ്. ഫ്രെയിമിംഗ് ലേബർ ലോസ്, ഡിറ്റർമിനിങ് വർക്കിംഗ് അവേഴ്സ്, ഫിക്സിംഗ് ഓഫ് പ്രൈസസ്, ഡിവിഷൻ ഓഫ് ലേബർ, ഡിറ്റർമിനിങ് ദ മോഡ് ഓഫ് സെയിൽ, മെയിൻറ്റെയിനിങ് ദ ക്വാളിറ്റി ഓഫ് പ്രോഡക്ട്സ് were the important duties of the guilds. The trade routes connected the East and the West substantiate. Silk, which produced abundantly in the East, was famous for its quality among the Europeans. The silk was so dear to the Europeans. The spices, cardamom, pepper, ginger, and cinnamon, sandalwood, and forest resources, which were also plenty in the eastern countries, were also the favorite items of the Europeans. They frequently traveled through these two routes to trade these spices and silk. Later, these routes were known as trade routes. The silk route was through the land and the spice route through the sea helped them to allot in the mutual transaction of the varied culture of East and the West. Thus, these trade routes paved the way for connecting the East and the West. ഇതിൻ്റെ ബാക്കി ഭാഗങ്ങൾ നെക്സ്റ്റ് എപ്പിസോഡിൽ. ഇതിൻ്റെ നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഭാഗവുമായി അടുത്ത എപ്പിസോഡിൽ കാണാം. അതുവരേക്കും ബൈ. താങ്ക്സ് ഫോർ വാച്ചിങ്.